So if we look at our graduate attributes, and one of them states that we want effective students who are, or graduates who are effective in diverse and intercultural environments, especially with the subject that we teach, which is intercultural management. It was key to have students that were not only culturally aware, but to me effectiveness actually means a level of competence. So I can be aware of cultural differences, but that doesn't necessarily make me competent, because I might not be willing to bridge a cultural difference, or I might just not know how. So in order to develop that sense of competence, we need to go back one step, which is a sense of awareness. But in order to develop awareness and competence, we have to go back another step to say, I need to understand the boundaries, my own boundaries of culture. Because even if I can't change your situation or the situation, I can at least change my response to it, or how I initiate a certain situation or a response to a situation. So it was necessary to develop that sense of how can we within learners develop that sense of introspection. And reflection is a great tool or a mechanism to help develop a sense of introspection. And if built right, it can provide a very powerful delayering tool for ever deeper reflection. So because our GBS strategy at the time and currently still is active learning, so it's all about choosing a pedagogy that is based on active learning, which really means to design activities where the student is thinking about what they're doing as they're doing it. So from that we developed certain strategies, pedagogical strategies, and part of that was to work on a problem within a team, but then also to reflect on the experience while they're solving a problem. So if we look at the reflection provided a link to all the other strategies that we were implementing. And there's many different types of reflective activities. So we had a whole smorgasbord of different types of reflection to choose from. We chose one in particular, and that's a reflective journal, which we then scaffolded a few times through the semester. But then in addition to that, we also chose to use self-assessment and peer assessment, because by assessing yourself, you're essentially asking yourself to step outside and become a neutral party to something that you're assessing. So you're creating that sense of looking at something without bias or without emotion. And that is a part of being interculturally aware and interculturally competent. So we built in the reflective journal. We scaffolded it initially 4 times across the semester, but then we were able to reduce that down to 3. You should at least do it twice, one at the start and one at the end, to provide, some form of progression. We built that in, and because of the type of subject that we're teaching, and that's intercultural management, for us that reflection was a key tool. So we actually based our assessment, the reflective assessment, at 60%. So 20, 20, 20% in the end. It's beginning of semester, middle of semester, end of semester. In addition to that, every reflective assignment included the student being required to assess themselves. And at the last one, because they're working in virtual teams, they actually did a peer assessment as well, which again comes back to them reflecting on themselves on, did I perform well in a team just like I'm assessing my other team members?